Your mom mentioned something last Thanksgiving. A date April 14th, she said. You went quiet, tried to place it. She reminded you, that was the Sunday you drove up without calling first. 3 years ago, maybe 4, you'd been passing through. You stopped for 2 hours, had coffee, fixed the loose hinge on the kitchen cabinet. You barely remember it. She remembers everything about it. The coffee was still hot when you knocked. She turned off whatever she was watching the moment she heard the door. She made eggs, even though it was mid-afternoon. She told your dad 3 times that week. She still brings it up. You almost didn't stop that day. You were tired. You had a long drive ahead. You told yourself you'd visit properly next time. She doesn't know that part. And right now, somewhere in the back of your mind, you're doing the math. How many of those visits are there? The ones she remembers exactly. The ones you've already let dissolve into the blur of those years. That's what this video is about. Not the visits you've missed in some abstract sense, but the specific, quiet way your parents carry your presence and your absence in a way you've never thought to carry theirs. There's something particular about how parents remember their adult children, something most of us don't discover until it's too late to do anything about it. We'll get there, but first, the thing we tell ourselves. Most of us operate on a version of this assumption. I'm in contact, they know I care, the relationship is fine. And on paper, that's probably true. You call not every week, maybe, but often enough. You show up for the holidays. You send things for birthdays. When something goes wrong, you're there. That's the definition of being a good child, as far as you've ever understood it. Presence when it counts. Love that's felt even across distance. It's a reasonable way to live. Nobody taught you otherwise. And your parents almost certainly have never said a word to contradict it. But here's the thing nobody tells you. There's a difference between knowing you're loved and keeping a record of it. And your parents have been keeping a record. Here's what's actually happening. You experience your relationship with your parents as ongoing. It exists in the background of your life, a long story you're still inside of, that continues whether or not you're actively paying attention to it. Your parents experience it differently. For them, the relationship lives in specific moments. The last time you came, the time before that, the call on Thursday, the visit that got canceled in February, and the one that actually happened in March. These aren't background, they're the foreground. They are the events of the relationship. Research on memory and aging shows something most adult children find uncomfortable when they finally confront it. Older parents recall visits with their children in far more detail than their children recall the same visits. The date, what was served, what was said, how long you stayed, how they felt when you left. You don't remember most of it. They remember almost all of it. This is not a failure of love on your part. It's a difference in how the relationship is weighted. Your life has dozens of competing anchors work. Your own family, obligations, the relentless forward motion of everything. A visit to your parents is one event among hundreds. For them, it is the event. And when you don't come, when a plan falls through, when a visit gets rescheduled, to never, they remember that too. There is, in all likelihood, a version of a calendar inside your parents' mind with your name on it. Not a literal one, though some parents do keep them. A mental register of when you last appeared and how long it's been since then. Your parents can tell you right now the approximate number of weeks since they saw you last. Can you tell them the same? This isn't an accusation, it's an asymmetry. And it exists because for you, the space between visits is filled with everything else your life contains. For them, the space between visits is one of the main things they're wading through. They don't say this, they won't, but they are. Think about the last time you called. Really think not just that you called, but when, and how long it lasted, and whether it was long enough for them. Now ask yourself, could they answer that question in more detail than you can? The answer, almost certainly, is yes. And the question worth sitting with the one this whole video circles around is, what does that tell you about where each of you lives inside this relationship? Here is the specific kind of memory that lands hardest when you finally sit with it. Your parents remember the times you said you'd come and didn't. Not with resentment or not mostly, but with the quiet precision of people who have learned not to hold on too tight because it hurts more that way They've learned to receive a visit fully and hold a canceled one lightly. But they haven't forgotten it. The birthday you said you'd make it to but had a conflict. The summer they mentioned wanting you for a week and you said we'll figure something out and you never did. The time you drove within 2 hours of their house and didn't stop because it wasn't a good moment. They didn't say anything. That's the part that makes this heavy. They decided, consciously or not, that they would rather have whatever version of you is available than lose you by asking for more. So they adjusted their expectations quietly to match what you were giving. And they never mentioned the gap. But they remember exactly where it is. Your parents talk about you more than you know. To the neighbor who asks how the family is doing. To the doctor making small talk in the waiting room. To each other, in the kitchen, on a Tuesday night, when something, a song, a smell, a sentence on television reminds them of you, and things remind them of you more often than you'd believe. They tell the small stories. Something funny you did as a kid, what you're working on now, as best as they understand it, where you live, what your life looks like from the outside, which is the only angle they have most of the time. This is what the space between your visits looks like from where they stand. You are not absent from their lives when you're not there. You are a regular presence in conversation, in thought, in the small daily acts of people who love you and have learned to carry that love quietly because asking for more feels like too much to ask. They have built a version of their days around the moments when you show up. The question worth asking tonight is whether you show up enough to hold that structure together. There is, most likely, a visit somewhere in the last few years that your parents still reference. Not Christmas, not the planned birthday dinner, something unannounced, something small, the time you called from the road because you had a free afternoon, the time you stopped on the way back from somewhere else, the time you showed up with nothing, no occasion, no gift, no reason except that you were nearby and they are your parents. You probably don't think of it as anything significant. You were tired, you didn't stay long, it wasn't planned. They have told that story more times than you know. It became, for them, evidence of something they needed evidence of, that you think of them without being prompted, that you'll come not because it's required, but because you wanted to. That one afternoon, the one you almost didn't do, has been living in them ever since. You still have the chance to make more of those. None of this is meant to make you feel like you failed. But if something in this video landed somewhere uncomfortable, pay attention to that. That discomfort is information. It's the part of you that already knew about this asymmetry, the part that's been sitting with it quietly, without ever giving it a name. Your parents aren't waiting for you to be perfect. They're not keeping that record to use against you. They remember because the moments with you are some of the most significant moments in their lives. And they don't have as many left as they once did. You do. Right now, today, the window is still open. Not wide open forever, but open enough. Call them, not later tonight, now, before this feeling fades into the rest of your evening. A short call is enough. An unannounced stop next weekend is enough. It doesn't need to be significant to be significant. What they remember for the rest of their lives is that you showed up. If this video moved you, pass it along to someone who might need it. You probably already know who that person is. And if you want more of this, we're here every week. Subscribe, and we'll keep making them. Take care of each other.